Hey guys, on my last episodes, I was talking about self-care, and I do have another video coming out about all the things that you have sent me for self-care. But this video is coming from my own experience because I really struggled these last couple of weeks, and I wanted to talk about traumatic brain injuries and this absolutely I can't even speak. This is the post-concussion syndrome. It relates to self-care. Because you, my friend, could be suffering from a traumatic brain injury and not even be aware of it. And your doctor may not even be aware of it. Huge percentage of people in domestic violence suffer from at least one traumatic brain injury. And if you've had multiple, it gets worse. It is a cumulative thing, as I discuss in this video that's coming up. It might seem like this is like, whoa, what happened to the last video? Well, this is absolutely related to that last one about where it's like, let's talk about us. Let's talk about taking care of ourselves. This is it. This is it. So I'm going to talk about my experience, but please listen. See if any of it resonates with you. And if it does, stick with it. And I have links in the show notes and the info. Check it out. Follow through. Do what you can about it, because nobody should have to go through this. It really will change your life. And there are things that you can do to mitigate the symptoms. So go check it out. All right, thank you. Hey there, I just recorded a video and it is crazy with the sunshine. So the point of this video, do you know if you have a traumatic brain injury or the side effects of a brain injury? Do you know if you've ever had a concussion? Do you know if maybe right now you have the long-term effects of a concussion, something called post-concussion syndrome, where this could be really long-term? Effects include headaches, dizziness, fatigue, blurred vision, neck issues, digestive issues, which, what? Never knew there was a connection there. Fatigue in your body, inability to fall asleep, sleepiness, that doesn't make sense, but it does. Dizziness, feeling like spinny, feeling like you're gonna tip over, feeling weird in like grocery stores and places where there's like long rows, like you just don't feel safe, like maybe they're gonna fall in on you. I don't even know what this is called, but I know it's like a vestibular and an ocular, like an eye scenario that happens from post-concussion syndrome. And people who are survivors of domestic violence actually have up to, they think 75% or more, have had at least one traumatic brain injury, like concussion, whatever you want to call it. And then what the research shows is that of DV survivors, they experience traumatic brain injuries 12 times more than military and athletes combined. 12 times more often they have TBIs, traumatic brain injuries. This includes what we will call mild traumatic brain injuries. So you could still be functioning but not even noticing it. And that's kind of what happened to me with my head injury, which mine started, I believe, from a bike accident. And I have more video here, which I would probably edit in, even though the visual is just like ridiculous from the sun being in my face. But the content is there and the data is there. And the reason why I'm throwing this out there is I am a woman of a certain age. I am 56 years old. I am one of those menopausal women for whom some of these issues, including, which I didn't mention, which is huge for me though, is fatigue, like full-on body fatigue, feeling like you need to take a nap, not being able to find words or having them come out garbled. You probably may have noticed me struggling, like on the other video, you'll definitely notice. I'm struggling to find words, to get the words out properly. I feel like my tongue is tied almost. So losing words, memory. My kids have said to me in the last week, they're like, I'll ask them a question. I'm like, wait, what did you say? And they're like, I just told you. And I'm like, I'm sorry, but I'm having memory issues again, because I've been really good for a while and I've definitely figured out some things that have worked for me. I share some of those, more of those in the video, and I don't want to do this whole video all over again, but these are the highlights. I'm just going to pull these to the front. These symptoms include, speech stuff, visual stuff, memory fog, like where you're just like, ugh, I can't think. I'm cognitively just feel sluggish and like my brain is not working. The neuron synapses are not firing, and you don't feel like yourself, and it lasts longer. And so this has been happening to me, and I'm like, why now? Like, it's spring, I love to ride my bike, I've had a lot of good things happen. I just accepted a new job, which I'll tell you guys about soon, and I've been doing this other work that I really, really love, and it doesn't involve computers, so my brain is pretty good. I do know that there's a threshold. They told me this a long time ago. There's a threshold for working out when you have post-concussion syndrome. You need to be really careful with pushing it. And I had another smaller concussion about a year ago. So I went back. When I finally was diagnosed with post-concussion syndrome, I went to a concussion center and I was evaluated, and I had a physical therapist, an occupational therapist. They did vestibular work, my brain rewiring. I had an ocular person, so for my eye, I had a speech therapist. Some of these people were doing the same thing, but altogether I saw 5 or 6 different people, not all at the same time. And so I went back, I saw a PT person again, I saw an executive function speech person again to help me. And I think I just forgot about this not pushing yourself thing, because what's happened is finally got my bike out of storage. I live in a different town right now. So I've lived in the same place for 10 years. I usually just get my bike out. I ride 10 miles for my first ride, maybe a few less. But it's country roads. I'm used to them. It's easy breezy. I don't have to choose any hills. This time I went on a flat route. I'm kind of in a city, but there's roads. And I was like, oh, I'm on the road. and I'm used to riding on the road. So I'm going to just ride the direction I want to go. And then I was like, this sucks. This is terrible traffic, like so many stoplights. I'm like, all right, I got to get out of this. So I went back, circled back to where I live, and then back onto a bike path. And that bike path is kind of a slight slope. It's not crazy, and it's very long. So I did as much as that as felt, okay. And then I turned around and came back. I would say I was kind of pushing it, but I was going 2 to 3 miles per hour under my norm, because I knew it was my first time out in not quite a year. So I got home and I checked my mileage, and it was like 17 miles, which is almost double what I probably should have done. I felt okay, but I was exhausted. I literally fell into bed and fell asleep. Instead of, like, normally I'll, take a quick shower, whatever. I fell into my bed and I literally fell asleep. And then, the next day kind of took it easy. But I just connected today that I've been feeling like crap. And I've been saying to my friend, like, I don't know what's going on. Like, I've been in menopause for a long time. So it can't just be menopause stuff suddenly, right? Like, even though a lot of the symptoms that you have, if you're a certain age, the post-concussion stuff is very similar to the brain fog, the fatigue, the digestive issues, like the not feeling like you're inhabiting your regular body, things not really feeling right, feeling all kinds of things, maybe feeling a little sad, depressed, right? Those emotional things are absolutely a part of post-concussion syndrome. And if you don't know that and you've never been diagnosed, you might just be like, oh, well, it's just probably menopause. And it could be both, which sucks, because if it's both, then it's 2 things to tackle. But I just wanted to let you know, I've been trying to figure this out with a friend, and then I did mention to her, I'm like, I don't know what's suddenly causing this. And I just casually said, You know what? I think this happened after I rode my bike for the first time, and I have not been back on my bike. It's been 2 weeks, and I've been very busy. I'm doing all this side work, and I've been taking these like last minute jobs, and I've been able to function, but I've felt really, really tired. Like by 8:30, I want to go to bed. My sleep is interrupted, and if I wake up in the middle of the night, I don't fall asleep as easily. Back to sleep. So I don't feel like I'm getting adequate sleep, and I just, even at maybe 1 o'clock, I feel like you might at 3 o'clock. Like I feel like I need a nap, and that's not me. And then walking, I have felt like my legs weigh a ton. Like they just feel heavy, and I'm a walker. I walk everywhere. I love to walk. I've been walking for years. That's kind of my therapy other than cycling, and I do a little bit of weight training and stuff, but like, what is going on with me? And I take allergy medicine, so I'm like, it can't be the allergy stuff. It's got to be something else. So I Googled some stuff. I was thinking about concussion, just trying so many things. Today I was like, you know what? I'm just going to see if this one thing I heard about. I also do amino acid treatments, which is just amino acid supplements I take. I'm taking kind of a blend that has L-theanine, kava, and I take glutamine. I take vital proteins type thing. Like there are different things I take, fish oil. So I take a lot of supplements, vitamin D. I do a lot of the things right, and I feel really good most days. So I'm like, what is going on? I eat well. I've been allergic to gluten for years. I have no gluten in my diet. I try to do low sugar, no sugar. Really don't drink alcohol at all anymore. I have, try to keep sulfites out of my diet too. So I'm like, what is going on? So then I see this guy has this thing called the concussion fix. And so I'm like, let's see what this is. And then he's like, oh, you can join the webinar in like 15 minutes. I'm like, okay. And you can cure many of the symptoms by following whatever his protocol is, his program. So anyway, I signed up, forgot about it because I have post-concussion syndrome. And then later I was like, whoops, I was on a different screen. I went back and started paying attention. And a lot of the things he mentioned I knew, which is good. So I'm listening, taking some notes. So he mentions this whole thing with your exercise threshold. And he's like, if you push through your threshold, the side effects of that can put you way back in your recovery. Like it could affect you for weeks. He didn't say that specifically, but he implied that this could be like you really will feel it. It's not just like somebody who needs to be careful because they just started a running program or cycling and you have like a couple days or maybe 4 or 5 days and it hurts your legs or your body or your lungs. This is literally your brain, your gut. You can start to have more digestive issues. You'll get the body fatigue. You'll get the brain fog. You may also start to have some of the other issues. I had some visual issues yesterday. I was like, what is going on? Like little flashes out of the corner of my eye, which is not normal. But that's like a stress-related issue. So I'm mentioning this because I know that my audience, you may have experienced some of this stuff and been through some sort of TBI, some sort of brain injury, whether it was through an impact where you fell or pushed, you were in a car accident, maybe you were in a sport or something, or maybe it was through domestic violence with all the things I just mentioned and more. I'm not going to go there, but if you've been through it. And those acceleration and impact injuries affect your brain. They also affect your neck. And when your neck and your brain go through this, there are all kinds of other issues that are connected to that. And I'm going to put the links to the concussion fix so you can go look at that free webinar. And he has a worksheet he'll email you so you can score and see what kind of issues you have. if any of what I'm saying rings true for you and you were like, wow, maybe this is what's really happening to me. I thought it was long COVID. I thought it was menopause. I thought it was depression. Depression is linked to head injuries. Depression is linked to post-concussion syndrome and traumatic brain injuries. And your symptoms can rev up when you're under stress, when you're not able to sleep, when you're not eating well, when you're exercising too much. You know, all of these things need to be addressed. So I'm not recommending necessarily that you buy his program. I think it looks great. I haven't purchased it. I literally just saw it 30 minutes ago, and I was just like, I have to do this video because I feel like you need to know that some of what you're feeling can be addressed by nutrition, by education, possibly small exercises. Maybe they're going to refer you to somebody who can look at your brain, do a scan, or do the tests that I had. The concussion place that I went to, they never had to do a scan. I failed their tests so miserably. They were like, and I already did have my medical records from a bike accident. I think I mentioned, I don't even remember. I think I mentioned in the beginning I was hit by a bike during COVID 2020. I was hit, and it was a kidney Yukon truck, and it was in the middle of the road. So I could have gotten run over. Thank God I wasn't. It was a country road. But that head injury was my first one. And even though I drove myself to get checked out and they checked my eyes, nothing was off. And it was the second head injury, which was about a year later, more than a year later even. That's when everything got triggered. So you never know. These things are cumulative. And I've had a third head injury since then. And that's the one I was just talking about, where I went back and revisited my team of concussion people. And I had to stop some of my therapies because my daughter became really, really sick. And the therapies made me really ill, especially the vestibular therapy, which is like testing your dizziness. It made me feel like I was in my first trimester of pregnancy. That's how nauseous I felt. And I just, the amount of care for my older daughter at the time, for both of them, I couldn't go to all these appointments. I already told you how many people I had on my team. And so to do that, plus my work, point of this also is that I have been in IT, web design, teaching web stuff, web accessibility, digital marketing, video, podcasting, working with computers for 30 plus years. And I have a pretty strong stamina with computers, and I don't generally get sick. So for me to suddenly feel like I'm falling asleep and I have blurred vision, these are the things I began to feel with the second major head injury, where I had a fall in a shower at a gym. It was a cement shower. And that was, and even then I had headaches and stuff, but I didn't feel the brain fog and the bigger blurry like fatigue issues for probably until a few weeks later. And I really thought it was either long COVID or menopause. So I just want to flag this for you of any age. You don't have to be menopausal to think. I mean, I was just saying, because a lot of us, we might write it off as something else, right? But if you're of any age and this rings true for you, please do look in the show notes or the more information if you're watching this on YouTube. And take it seriously. Really talk to your doctor. Say, this is what happened to me. This is when it happened. These are the things I'm experiencing now. I think I may have some sort of brain-related issue like a TBI or post-concussion syndrome. And if they give you a hard time, ask to see a specialist, try to get a referral. You can learn more from this concussion fix program and bring that with you. Just say, this is what I scored on this worksheet. And I might be wrong, but if this rings true for you, I'm hoping that this video helps you, because this sucks. Honestly, I would not wish this on anybody. I mean, it really has taken over so many aspects of my life. I've had to redo and rethink how I earn a living, and doing things in person and not on screens is really what's helped me. I think I mentioned before I worked at Trader Joe's for a little while. I've done some other stuff online, but I've had to have a lot of control over how much time I spend doing the work. So I've done some stuff on Upwork where I've worked on contracts where I determine my time and then I deliver the project. The job that I just accepted is a combination of computer work and in-person events and talking to people and getting outside in nature. And I'll tell you more about that. It's really positive, and it's 20 hours flexible, which will allow me to do some of the other things that I mentioned where I can earn money. But yeah, I mean, I never, you don't expect to be unable to do the thing that you're most trained to do, which is the highest income earning potential that you have. It's just nuts. So anyway, thank you for listening. Please leave a comment in the comments section if you're on YouTube, or if you're on the podcast, you can go to theaudaciouslife.com. That's my website. There's a speak pipe, which is a little blue widget. You can leave a voice message if you want to share what your thoughts are on this. Do you have a concussion? Did it occur to you? Did anybody ask you or tell you that you might have one? Did you know about this stuff? Yeah, I would love to know, especially if you've been to doctor after doctor and no one has mentioned it, even though you have a domestic violence scenario in your life. And if DV is not why you're watching me, if you've, had sports or other related injuries or something like that, I'm just really curious to know your story or why this resonated with you. And if any of the links that I'm sharing are helpful to you, what stood out. I just would really like to know. We can do a follow-up. And if you leave a voice message or a text message, an email message, I will incorporate it in my follow-up. I want to do a follow-up on this. And by the way, and if you've left me a voice message on my website, I got it. Thank you. I'm going to probably use it in another video that I'm putting together. But if you've left me an email through the website, I'm so sorry. I'm not a jerk. I didn't get it. I went to the website. It's supposed to email them to me. They're supposed to come to my inbox. I don't know what was going on. I love the host that I use for my podcast, both my podcasts. But I went and they were clogged. I was editing something on theaudaciouslife.com and went in and was like, and I saw all these email messages that people had sent me that never got forwarded. So thank you. I appreciate you. There was some lovely, amazing messages. And I just want to let you know, I'm not a total B. I really appreciate you. I'm so sorry. I even tried to respond to these messages through the website, like click, hey, Julie, thank you, but it wouldn't work. And I was so frustrated. So I'm going to figure out a way to do it. I think I can just do it through my regular email. I'll get to it. Life has been pretty crazy and I've had zero energy, as you know from this video. I've not felt like myself for a while. I'm behind. Yeah, lots of love to you. I'm going to end this, but I will see you on the next episode. And I hope that you have an amazing day. I really hope that there's something here that helps you heal or start to feel better if you're suffering from any of the things that I've mentioned. All right, lots of love. Bye.